DoggieDiamondsTV.com.
Now, I don't know if it's the signals or the powers that be, but we're talking about this dude, Jeff Hood, who called and organized the Black Lives Matter March. Now, me, active member and the Northeast Regional Director of the Straight Black Pride Movement, here's our problems with Black Lives Matter. They always incorporate people who don't have our best interests at heart, and that's how our movements are easily deterred, and we're always sidetracked on what's going on in the issues that are most important to us. Now, I don't expect a white person to fight against white supremacy in my best interest, because in doing that, the balance of power shift. And we already know no powerful people are going to hand over their power to powerless people. And black people, we are powerless for the simple fact that we don't organize or even study those who were successful in organizing and revolting against this racist system known as America. Now, anybody who knows me know I never publicly advocate violence and murder against anyone except somebody who's trying to harm you or your children. And I say that to say that we have to be careful on the things we say, but we have to link up with like-minded people and talk about these things off the grid. We have to really start meeting up face to face. Facebook is good for information, but it's definitely not revolutionary. Now, when we talk about revolutionary, how can we start? For the people who are not even acquainted with the philosophies and opinions of Marcus Garvey or the teachings of Dr. John Henry Clark, or successful freedom fighters like the Miles, Nat Turner, Denmark, V.C. Gabriel Prosper, people who are not familiar with them, the most basic thing you can do in terms of being a revolutionary is stop supporting things that don't hold your best interest as a priority. That means turn off the TV. Stop subscribing to the news programs and their commentary on what's happening. We done heard 5 different stories for one incident in 2 days. It was the same thing with the Pulse nightclub shooting. It was the same thing with Sandy Hook. And you can go to FBI.gov. Go look at how many people were murdered during that time, that month, that particular instance in Sandy Hook, Connecticut. What's the name? I forget the name of the town of Sandy Hook. But you find it, you look it up, you see that no one was murdered. So was this real or was this fake? Because every year they have an annual vigil for some people that haven't been proven to be murdered. Now, these aren't my words. This is the FBI's report, that no one was murdered there. But we don't believe that this lying country who lied on black people from its inception, we don't believe they will lie to us this day and age about who the murderers are, who the villains, and who's the good guys. Black people, we forget that everything that's happening to us, all the laws and the rights that we're not afforded, is based on the Constitution. All laws in this country, or at least criminal laws, are based on the Constitution. But if you study the Constitution, it tells you that we're 3/5 of a human being and it hasn't been amended. Even when you go to the 14th Amendment, where they're supposed to grant us citizenship, they didn't even give us an option to decide whether we wanted to be citizens or not. So in fact, we're denizens and subjects. But this is something over many of our heads, because I'm no legal analyst. I'm just a brother who read a few books and still looking to learn more. So I link with like-minded people. But we have to stop being so naive and buying into the narrative of who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but this whole thing started because of police brutality. But look how they switch our conversation from police brutality to now support the police. And I ain't gonna lie to you, Chick-fil-A got some good sandwiches. But if we want to boycott, we start with them for supporting our terrorists. The police department is the black man's terrorist. They kill our women. They kill our men. They kill our children. And then they run the same okey-doke trick on us time and time again. Because if we go back to 2014 with the murder of Tamir Rice, Mike Brown, the murder of Eric Garner, we had this same momentum right here, where the whole country was polarized and ready to do something. But then what happens? On Myrtle Avenue in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, New York, there were 2 police officers that were supposed to have been murdered by a black man who supposedly support our right to determination, the black liberation struggle. Now, if you know anything about Brooklyn, if you know anything about Myrtle Avenue, that is a very crowded neighborhood, particularly that afternoon. But somehow they track him down to the train station, murder him before they get to question him, and nobody sees anything. But what happened then? That was December 20th, 2014. The conversation went from police brutality back to support the police, and then everybody got silent again. What happened this week? Day after day after day, black men were getting murdered. Innocent black men. Not black men in the commission of a felony, but innocent black men were murdered. And what happened? Some type of situation happened where police are murdered. They were ambushed, which is a military term that's indicative of being in the war. See, this is code talk for white folks. But here you go. The conversation get changed again from police brutality, which started all this, to support the police. And we got a lot of our people out there who's so lost and so confused that they are actually supporting black folks terrorists. See, me as a black man, I don't use that term melanated, because anybody of quote unquote color is melanated. That means the Asians, that means the Arabs, that means the Indian from India, the Indo-Europeans, or whatever you want to call them. That means they're melanated. So what you're doing is creating a kumbaya linguistics. You're now including everybody in our struggle, though everybody don't suffer the consequences that we suffer for speaking up. Why? Because these other quote unquote melanated people have a country to back them. We don't. I mean, we do. We have countries in Africa that want to support us, but we're so westernized and Europeanized that linking up with Africa is the furthest thing from our minds. And we don't understand that we got brothers and sisters over there that want us. I see these supposed to be scholars and people who supposed to speak for our community talking about Africans don't like us and Africans don't want us. I tell you what, I don't like some of you Negroes neither. And I'm from here. And I don't want nothing to do with some of y'all. Because it's the way we portray ourselves. It's the way we carry ourselves. It's the way we handle ourselves. We're always having frivolous, meaningless conversations about things that bears no relevance to our survival. Black men, I'm appealing to y'all. I'm appealing to what's left of our masculinity. Stop supporting issues that don't affect you. Stop supporting issues and people causes that does not benefit us. Our sole purpose right now is to be to protect and provide for our families, nothing else. I don't care about nobody debates, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care what came first, the chicken or the egg, because in the end we both get fried. I don't care about the pyramids when we're not building homes for our people. I don't care about how tough you are with the next brother because y'all disagree on ideologies and philosophies, but you won't take it to these Europeans that are molesting our children, that are lying to our children, that are kidnapping, stealing our children right up under our nose. And all we want to do is hashtag and talk about the problem. But we're not actively, aggressively going out here putting hands on people. Now, anybody who know me personally, I'm not talking about through Facebook. I'm not talking about through our organizations. I'm talking about know me personally. Know that I have a hand problem. And I don't care what your color is. I will put hands on you. You violate me or the people I love. But a lot of you brothers are becoming very, very soft. And you only want to fight black folks, but you don't want to take it to these Europeans. Now, and it's not even about advocating for violence. This is advocate to protect your family, protect your home, protect the people that you love, because this is who they're killing. I'm about to be a grandfather again. My son is about to have his first child. And we had this conversation earlier today. Because he's always heard this. Daddy's always been on it like this. But now more than ever, he understands because he's about to be a father. And we had the conversation on protecting his newborn child that'll be here soon. But some of you have children here and grandchildren and still ain't protecting nobody or nothing. You act like a bunch of chumps and cowards. I only link up with the real. I ran with real dudes in the streets. I got friends from all walks of life. I got friends that's criminals and friends that's law enforcement. I got friends that's doctors and friends that's infected with HIV. I don't discriminate against anybody. If we can get along, we can see eye to eye, and you can respect my position, even if we don't agree on certain things. But one thing I will not tolerate is the cowardice of black men. With straight black pride, all we're about is preserving the black family. Many people try to label us as a hate group because we love our people, because we want for our children the same thing that everybody else wants: safety, security, and a place to lay our head at the end of the day, where we don't have to look over our shoulders. But some of you chumps want to kumbaya with everybody and get justice. So at the end of the day, we have to question, what is justice? Can we really get justice for the murder of our people, the enslavement of our people, the displacement of our people? Because outside of police brutality, we got gentrification going on, where our people are being uprooted and the family is being disconnected. And if you understand anything about war, the first thing you do is cut off people's ties to communication, and then you isolate them, then you crush them. So when they broke up my neighborhood, Clinton Hills used to be Bed-Stuy, nobody's connected no more. People have moved out of state, people have moved out the borough. So when we do go see the people that are still left, we're surrounded by Europeans, and we're looked at like we're the strangers, like we're the outsiders. And this ain't just happening in Brooklyn. This is going on in St. Louis. This is going on in Philly. This is going on in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is going on around the country. So what are we organizing for? What are we asking for? How do you get justice for over 60 million dead African people from the time the good ship Jesus landed on the shores of Africa? Because that's when it started. This didn't start with the murder of Eric Garner. This didn't start with the murder of Emmett Till or Mary Turner. This has been going on since our introduction to the Europeans. We taught them, we educated them, we went around the world educating people.
Hey, thank you for watching. Don't leave without subscribing. Hit that subscribe button. Peace.